Hello everyone, I am Bhargavi. I'm going to teach you physiology. The topic for me, what I'm going to teach now is pain pathway and pain gate theory. So I hope that you might have studied regarding the pain already and the knowledge regarding the pain and pain gate theory it will be helpful for you not only in the first year, not only for the first year classes, further also when you are going to the clinical neuro and at that time also it is going to be helpful for you. So I'm going to start explaining you regarding the pain pathway first. So pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience which is associated with actual and potential tissue damage. And it is a protective mechanism. It makes aware of the body about the damage. So whenever any pain comes, it indicates the behind damage which is going on inside the body. So indirectly, pain is a protective mechanism for human being. So when it comes to the pain, we are having two types of pain. That is the fast pain as well as the slow pain. So when it comes to the fast pain, it will be carried by the neospinothalamic pathway. And slow pain will be carried by the paliospinothalamic pathway. Okay, so you might have studied lateral spinothalamic tract, no? This is nothing but both together you are going to study under lateral spinothalamic tract. So evolutionary neospinothalamic pathway is embryologically it is formed earlier than the paleospinothalamic tract. So because of that, it is neo and paleospinothalamic pathways. Both together, we are saying it as the lateral spinothalamic pathway. Or else you can get it in your exams in question like pain pathway also. You're going to write the same one, neospinothalamic and paleospinothalamic, or as the lateral spinothalamic tract. If you are going to write like this, it's enough. So when it comes to any pathway, we are going to study regarding the receptors, then the afferent nerve fibers, center and the efferent nerve fibers and the effector organ. No? So here the receptors are the nociceptors, okay, or as the free nerve endings. Free nerve endings of A delta nerve fibers as well as the C fibers. Okay, free nerve endings of A delta nerve fibers and free nerve endings of C fibers are carrying the pain sensation. So when it comes to A delta nerve fibers, these nerve fibers are carrying the fast pain sensation. Okay, so fast pain sensation will be carried by the A delta fibers. These are having the larger diameter and high conduction velocity also. And C fibers are slow. They are going to carry C fibers are carrying slow pain sensation. So when it comes to A delta fibers, they are the large myelinated high conduction velocity. And when it comes to the C fibers, these are small diameter, unmyelinated and low conduction velocity fibers are present. So slow pain is going to be carried by the C fibers and fast pain is carried by the fast fast type of pain is going to be, I mean pain which in fast manner it is going to be carried by the A delta fibers. So A delta fibers diameter and conduction velocity is more than the C fibers. So at the end what you have to remember among this one, receptors for the pain sensation is free nerve endings of A delta fibers and free nerve endings of C fibers. A fibers are carrying fast pain sensation, C fibers are carrying slow type of pain sensation. So now we are going to come to our pain pathway. So this is the pain pathway.
Ma'am, sorry for disturbing. Please turn on your camera, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. So if you observe, these are the A delta fibers and C fibers, which are carrying fast and slow pain sensations. And when it comes to this one, this is the dorsal root ganglion, where you are having the nerve cells, and those neurons fibers are our A delta fibers as well as C fibers. Okay. So as these are the bipolar neurons, one axon is and two sides axons will be, two poles will be present, two axons are going to be present. So one side A delta fibers and one side it is going to send the fibers to the spinal cord. When it comes to the spinal cord, the fibers are reaching to the posterior gray horn. So where the fibers are reaching from the dorsal root ganglion, from the dorsal root ganglion, the fibers are reaching to the posterior root ganglion. Sorry, posterior root of our spinal cord. So once again, I am repeating. So this A delta fibers and C fibers are starting from they are having the cell bodies in the dorsal root ganglion. So these fibers from the dorsal root ganglion, they are carrying the pain sensation through the A delta and C fibers, and they are sending the impulses, they are sending the nerve fibers to the dorsal root or the posterior root of our spinal cord. Okay, till here it is clear, I hope. Then what will happen? First, we will see the C fibers. This is the paleospinothalamic tract. So the fibers are, now here the synapse is going to take place, and here we are the fibers which are coming from the dorsal root, they are going to terminate here in the posterior root. Again, if you see here, our C fibers, they are going to reach the lamina 5. Okay, here we are having the lamina 5. So the C fibers are going to reach the lamina 5, and here this one we can say it as in your, you might have studied in the way of substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. Okay, you can write like this, or lamina wise or else nucleus wise also you can mention there. Substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. So the fibers are going to end in the posterior root. The nucleus here, which is going to receive and which is going to be participate in the synapse with this one, is the nucleus of the substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. Now the fibers which are, now here the synapse is present in the posterior root. You have to remember the synapse here, the fibers which are coming from the dorsal root ganglia and the substantia gelatinosa of Rolando, they are making the synapse with each other. Okay. So remember this point. Then next, the fibers from the nucleus, substantia gelatinosa of Rolando, they are crossing from this side to the opposite side. Okay, from the right side to left side. They are right. If the fibers are from here, they are crossing, means the fibers are crossing to the opposite side. Right side fibers will cross to the left, and left side fibers will cross to the right side. Okay, now from here fibers are crossing to the opposite side, they are ascending, and they are going to reach the cerebral cortex. Before reaching the cerebral cortex, it will reach the brainstem and the thalamus. Like that, further it is going to uh, it stepwise it ascends upwards, and it is going to reach the cerebral cortex. So when it is the course, when the pathway is ascending upwards, the fibers are going to end in the fibers which are second order neurons, which are going to form starting from the substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. They are going to end in this red color one. They are going to end in the non-specific nuclei of thalamus. Some fibers of paleospinothalamic pathway, they are going to end in the non-specific nuclei of thalamus. Okay. Then some group of fibers of our paleospinothalamic pathway, they are going to end in hypothalamus. And some fibers are going to terminate in periaqueductal gray matter, and some more fibers are going to terminate in reticular formation. Okay. So here these fibers are going to end. Now we are having nuclei in thalamus. Now the third order neurons, they are going to arise, and from the thalamus, they are going to project to the somatosensory cortex. That is the area, Brodmann's area number 312. Okay. Here it is going to be end. This is regarding the paleo-spinothalamic tract. Okay. Paleo-spinothalamic pathway, which is one of the pain pathway. Means slow conducting fibers. Once again, I am revising. So the dorsal root ganglion here, from here the fibers are going, the fibers will be reach to the skin, and where our free nerve endings are going to be present, specifically here C nerve fibers, and from here the fibers are going to reach the posterior root of spinal cord. Here they are going to make the synapse with the fibers of the substantia gelatinosa of Rolando, and these after making the synapse, the second order fibers from the substantia gelatinosa of Rolando or lamina number 5, they are crossing to the opposite side. They are ascending upwards. When they are ascending upwards, some fibers, some group of fibers, they are going to end in radicular formation. Some of them, they are ending in periaqueductal gray matter. Some of them, they are ending in hypothalamus. And most of them, they are going to end in non-specific nuclei of thalamus. Okay. Then from here, these fibers are going to end. How they are going to end? They are making the synapse with the nuclei which are present in the thalamus. Now, from these third order neurons, they are going to project in the form of, they are going to project to the somatosensory area, which is going to be present in our cerebral cortex. That is the Brodmann's area number 312. This is regarding the paleo-spinothalamic pathway. So, now we have cleared till here. Now we are going to study regarding the, what is this one? Neospinothalamic pathway. Yeah. So now we are going to study regarding the neospinothalamic pathway, which is carried by, which is going to, which pathway is going to be carry, which type of sensation it is going to carry. Fast pain sensation is going to be carried by our neospinothalamic pathway. Okay. So first for this one, receptors are free nerve endings of A delta nerve fibers. See, A delta nerve fibers. Don't think that from where this A delta nerve fibers, C fibers came. These are the nerve fibers according to the classification of Erlanger-Gasser classification of nerve fibers, which is very, very important when you are studying the nervous system. Okay. So when we have under Erlanger-Gasser classification, we are having the different types of nerve fibers based on the conduction velocity as well as the diameter. From there, we are having the A delta fibers and C fibers also. Okay. So now as we are talking about the neospinothalamic tract, we are going to discuss only regarding the A delta fibers, which are having the highest conduction velocity among the whole classification of the nerve fibers under Erlanger-Gasser classification. These fibers, they are going to perceive the pain sensation, and that pain sensation is going to reach the dorsal root ganglia. From there, from the dorsal root ganglia, the fibers are going to our posterior root, okay, or the dorsal root of our spinal cord. Now the fibers from here, it is going to reach the dorsal root ganglion. Then as it is the bipolar neuron, the fibers from here, it is going to reach the lamina number 192. Okay, so this is the green color one or as the black color one, what I am drawing, it is indicating the neospinothalamic pathway. So here it is going to be end either in the lamina 192, it is going to end. So here it is going to make a synapse with the nuclei which are present in our posterior root posterior root of our spinal cord. So now the fibers from here, they will start and they will go to opposite side. They are crossing opposite side. After crossing the spinal canal, they are moving to the opposite side. Then they are ascend upwards. Then they are ascending upwards to the thalamus. So where they are going to enter, like ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. Okay. Now, in ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus, they are going to end. These are the second order fibers, second order fibers which are starting from the posterior root. So, they are going to terminate here by making a synapse with the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. Okay, now these second fibers are terminate here. Then the third order neurons are ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. They are going to arise from here. They are going to end in our area number in the somatosensory cortex, that is the area number 312. Okay. So here it is going to be end. That is the neospinothalamic pathway. Once again, I am summarizing. It is going to arise from the receptors for this one is the A delta nerve fibers, free nerve endings of A delta fibers. They are going to reach the dorsal root ganglia. From there, they are going to reach the posterior root of our spinal cord. There, they are going to make a synapse with the nuclei which are present in the lamina 1 and the lamina 2 in the posterior root of our spinal cord. By making the synapse, they are going to terminate here. Now, second order fibers are going to start here. They are crossing opposite side and they'll ascend upwards in the lateral column of the spinothalamic tract and they are going to reach to the thalamus. In the thalamus, they are going to terminate terminate by making a synapse with the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. Okay. Here the second order fibers also finished. Then now next third order fibers are going to start from the VPL nuclei, that is the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. From there, as a projection, it is going to the fibers are from the thalamic projection. Fibers are going to reach the somatosensory cortex, that is the Brodmann's area number 312. Okay, so which type of sensation it is carrying? Our neospinothalamic pathway. Fast pain sensation will be carried by the neospinothalamic pathway. Okay. So this is the content what I have explained till now. And few fibers from the neospinothalamic tract pathway, they are going to few fibers along with the 99% of fibers are going to be terminate with the ventral posterolateral nucleus, but few fibers are going to reach the reticular formation. Because of that, whenever we will get severe pain, no, we won't get sleep. Okay, reticular formation is the work of the function of the reticular formation is to make the person to awake. So when we are having, we won't sleep. Okay, so why? Because the fibers are going to reach the reticular formation. They are going to send the impulses to the reticular formation also. Okay. So I hope every one of you have understand. So when you are presenting in your exam also, how you have to present at the lateral spinothalamic tract pathway, or else you have to write the neo and paleo spinothalamic tract pathway. Receptors you have to write first, then first order neurons where they are present, and from there where it is going to end, and second order neurons those fibers and where it is going to be end, and the third order neurons where it is going to start and how in which area of cerebral cortex it is going to terminate. All those points you have to mention there, and where it is making synapse also, and function of that specific pathway also you have to mention there. Now we have done with the neospinothalamic tract as well as like paleospinothalamic tract pathway, or else in the lateral or in the form of lateral spinothalamic pathway also you can present. So you can mention there C fibers are carrying the slow pain sensation and A delta fibers are carrying the fast pain sensation. Like that you can write under lateral spinothalamic pathway also hold together. Next one, we are going to study pain gate theory. So what is the main aim of this pain gate theory is like whenever we will get pain, no, we will rub that area without our consciousness itself. We are going to rub that area. So because of that rubbing, the what we are feeling, the pains, the strength, how much we are feeling that pain sensation will be there, na, that is going to be little bit reduced. Okay, without studying and without knowledge also, we will do unconsciously also. We are going to do the rubbing of that particular area. Why it occurs? Because here in our brain, we are having some pain suppression system or else pain gate mechanism. Okay, or else analgesic system, analgesic pathway. So which is going to be inhibit the transmission of the pain signals from the periphery to the cerebral cortex. So that how the pain suppression from the brain it is going to occur, we are going to study under this pain gate theory. Okay, so yeah, so we are having one pain inhibitory complex. Where that pain inhibitory complex is present? In dorsal horn of spinal cord. Once again, I'll show this diagram. So here, this area is there, no? In the same way, this area where the synapse is going to be formed between the first and second order neurons, this dorsal horn is there, no? There we are having the pain gate. Gate for the separation of the pain, we are having one inhibitory complex. Okay. So the pain inhibitory complex which is present in dorsal horn of the spinal cord, what it is going to do? It will block the transmission of the pain signals initially from the spinal cord to the brain. Okay. So the pain signals which are carried by the A, delta and C fibers, they are making the synapse with the nuclei which are present in the posterior gray horn, posterior root. Okay. So there our inhibitory complex is going to block that. It is closing the gate for the transmission of the pain signals. Okay. So when it is, if we are closing the gate, what's going to be happen? The person who is present this side, they cannot move to other side. No. In the same way, when the gate is closed in this area of the dorsal horn, the fibers which are carrying the pain signals, pain sensation, they can't approach to the other side. So the blocking of the pain signals transmission is going to occur at the level of the dorsal root. Okay. Means from the spinal cord to the brain. Why? Because from the spinal cord, our dorsal horn is present in the spinal cord, and if we transmit, it is going to reach the somatosensory area 312 primary cerebral cortex. No. So it is going to reach that specific area of the cerebral cortex. So from the spinal cord to the cerebral cortex, the blocking of the pain signals is going to occur in our dorsal horn of our spinal cord. Okay. So according to this theory, our dorsal horn acts as a gate for the transmission of the pain impulses. Okay, it can be closed partly or partially, it can be closed, or else completely also it can be closed. Okay, then so how it is going, how the gate is closing, how the inhibition of the impulses is going to occur. So I have said initially, by rubbing our this about how much we are feeling the pain sensation is going to reduce as no. Why? Because when we are rubbing along with the free nerve endings which are present in our skin, the touch, what you call, activation of the large myelinated touch fibers also will take place. Okay. So that activation of large myelinated touch fibers, the touch sensation will be carried by the A beta fibers. There I have mentioned for the pain A delta fibers and C fibers. When it comes to the carrying of the touch sensation, our A beta fibers are going to carry the touch sensation. When we are rubbing, when we are rubbing, the activation of the large myelinated A beta fibers is going to occur, which is going to close the gate of our dorsal horn partially or completely. Okay. So it is also, so it occurs because after entering a spinal cord, A beta fibers gives collaterals to, so A beta fibers will be there. No, they are sending the collateral fiber to our pain fibers, means C fibers and A delta fibers. Through the presynaptic inhibition, our inhibition of the transmission of the pain signals from the periphery to the, from the spinal cord dorsal horn to the upwards, no, means to the cortex, it is going to be prevented. Okay, once again I am repeating the last point. Whenever we are rubbing, that A beta fibers also becoming activated. Okay, so what these A beta fibers are doing, they are sending the collateral fiber to our pain fibers. That is, this um, touch fibers are A beta fibers, and these are A delta and C fibers. When it is sending the collaterals to these fibers, what is the mechanism, how it is going to be inhibited the transmission? Through the presynaptic inhibition, it is going to prevent the transmission of the pain signals from the A beta and C fibers. Okay. So it is going to prevent that one. Because of that one, the transmission of the pain signals from the periphery to the, from the spinal cord to the cerebral cortex, it is going to be suppressed. So the person feel, I mean, when we are rubbing, we are feeling that pain is decreased like that for few seconds like that. It's going to be occur. So this is all together, we are saying it as the pain gate theory. Behind physiology for this one is the presynaptic inhibition. How the presynaptic inhibition is going to occur? Because of the collaterals from the A beta fibers to A delta and C fibers. Okay. And it is all along with the fibers sending from the A beta fibers to the A delta and C fibers. It is also sending the impulse. It also sending the collaterals to the periaqueductal gray horn, periaqueductal gray neuron, periventricular neuron, and nucleus of Raphe magnus. So, collaterals from these A beta fibers are sending to the periaqueductal, periventricular, Raphe magnus, and dorsal horn. So, because of all these things, inhibition of transmission of the pain impulses to the higher center is going to be prevented. Okay, so when the transmission is not there, the person is not going to perceive any pain sensation. Okay, so this is regarding pain pathway and pain gate theory. If you have any doubts, you can keep it in the chat box.
No questions were asked, ma'am. You can end the session.
Okay, thank you.